I want whatever he's got in his coffee, Launders. We're getting pretty late here in Katowice, Poland, but we've got an intense matchup on our hands. Or maybe I should use the word important, because like Chad said, at least this one would get you a ticket to the very worst situation, finding yourself in the loser's best of 3. That does give you a very real chance at getting to the minor stand-in. You know, you got to go beat some Asian and CIS and European teams if you're one of these guys. But I mean, come on, that's not that hard.
I wonder if Energy are watching this match, if they're thinking like, who do we want to play more based on what we've seen? It's been back and forth, and I have no idea who's going to be able to pull out Inferno, but that's what makes this so exciting and such a good map to finish on. I think it is the great equalizer in a lot of respects, and I'm sure that both teams are nervous at this moment, but INTZ approaching the B site with a lot of confidence, crouching under the angles of the CTs, but the USP and P2K can join to be able to get a couple of frags that give the CTs a man advantage and a way back into this round. Only lost Vinny so far, and K-Serrato is already in ult to let him know if it's time to rotate back.
Yeah, Art's hesitant. I mean, they did go down to the bottom of middle just to throw the flashbang at the top of mid, but we do have K-Serrato, like you said, that spy. He's gotten himself into the alt mid, knows that it's all clear now, so they're prepared for the push, and are they ever? Good night, and hello, pistol round victory for Furia Esports.
5 kills between Abel, J, and Uria, and it all comes down to K-Serrato being able to call out the fact that even though they flash bottom mid, nobody has crossed the top mid or bracket, and there is no reason to leave the B site. So the 3 players there is good enough to stack. There's pistols only here for INTZ, not a plant in sight that last round, so they don't have enough to be able to afford the 3 AK buy that we're so used to seeing. It's Farm City for Furia Esports.
Yuri walking by the windows, looking outside, checking the weather. And the forecast, terrorism. Ints are all the way up alt mid already, so it's going to be spotted, but they don't get their kills. Not as easily as they'd hope for. You know, there's a little damage done back the other way. And then everything goes silent.
Still so much information from Furia that doesn't affect the A side as much as INTZ would have liked. Secure the MP9. But that's all so far. Total bracket control here as the crossfire is on. Yuri and Vinny ready for this pop.
So it's one of those moments where tension builds, and the climax comes to an unfiltered end. Yuri, just all too easy. Anti-eco ace. So, I mean, he saw out the windowsill, figured out what was coming his way, and then was so well prepared for it that he begins this map at 7-0.
Yeah, good way to begin. Yeah, really fresh anti-eco ace, and it's pretty simple. Art gets killed on the push down because they feel like they can take the liberty to seek out the frags. Ideally, they don't have all those kills go into the M4, so, you know, he was trying to make sure that they made the most money possible, but it doesn't really matter to them. That's still minimal losses, all things considered. And we move on to round number 3. INTZ have picked up 4 AKs and a SIG. So standard default here is a CTs. I'm trying to see how passive we're being. I think Vinny is here to spot and wait for a flash. I don't know if they attempt to retake after the smoke goes up. He doesn't have a smoke to drop. So there's potential for it. You see K-Serrato postured up to throw that flash. Could be action coming your way soon. Mr. Logsman, Zand, AK in hand.
Good grenade. Oh, baby.
Understatement.
There's actually a second one that soars over the top of the bomb site.
Oh, that's how it did so much damage.
Yes, sir. So excellent timing there on the utility. The frag grenade's fantastic. Yuri, are you ready for another wave of teas? Or are they gone? They do kind of sulk back to the bottom of Banana. We don't have that forward positioning here on the top of Banana either. So Zand has seen nothing. Nothing at all. We had the fallback from Vinny. He gets boosted up onto the half wall by KS Arado. He'll chill on Humpty Dumpty. And as Art wrapped back around through construction, we hit that 20-second mark. Smoke makes things awkward. Vision not there, but the frags most certainly are for Furia. And the remaining two Ts are just trying to fight their way out of the smokes. They have zero vision and do not know where the counter-terrorists got off to. 5 seconds left over. Bombs drop in the banana, and they don't even kill Art towards oranges. 3-0 for Furia. INTZ getting worked by the clock.
Make it look easy, and a lot of that came down to those 2 grenades that you called out at the top of mid to stop them from getting bracket control easily. INTZ try to keep it fairly simple and get punished for it. Maybe predictable timings towards the areas of the map they were trying to work. And once they got back to B, the hold was just so chaotic, having to go through a smoke and having such low HP players responsible for entries. There's about between 29 and 3.3K for most people. Yell's got 2.5. He's bought himself a Deagle. They're going to try to even out around 2K so they can buy next round. It is eco territory, and Furia already shown some really cool CT setups. And they've piqued our interest, I think, as to like what more they've got in store. What more have they got in the store?
Shouldn't be much in this one. Bomb back in spawn. So we'll see if they even get a chance to plant. I believe they had a Molotov, which was thrown out towards Banana, just trying to keep them at bay, whatever it may have ended.
INTZ, they threw a Molotov?
I thought so.
Okay. I believe you, I'm just curious.
Maybe my eyes have played tricks on me.
You got glasses, and you think that's not good enough?
Glasses.
Glasses.
Ooh. Imagine. Hey, buddy, give me your... on. Eagle shot would have connected to Art. He will be challenged on Arch. He's actually challenged on the split, tapping away towards the balcony as well. It is, well, Yell to get a trade frag. Ts are actually a little bit closer, so Furia are going to rotate, not feeling any pressure at the B bomb site, understanding this should be easy, but not looking all so simple. Zan's got his paws on an M4. KNG with another CZ headshot, and now shots from downrange. Oh no, Furia.
That landed?
Not like this. Molotov into the middle of the bomb site, and bomb's now planted standard.
Oh my god, things just got way out of hand way too quickly.
What you gonna do, Vinny?
Damn, the double smoke on pit, they're gonna be
triple
smoke. Oh
another one. It's this continuous stream of utility coming out of Vinny. He's trying to find targets, that's the problem. He's given them cover to work around with, and oh boy, that's an upset.
That's huge. And that's the thing, like that's what the halls pop is all about. Sometimes it looks dumb when players are trying to come out of halls. Actually, that was only one person who came out of halls.
Yeah, it was 2 lane, 2 arch, and 1 man on the balk.
Yeah, yeah. So the split, just a really cheap split.
Cost effective at the end of the day. That's gonna definitely kind of, you know, bolster an immediate start to the T side. In fact, Furia, they're gonna take one on the chin, go back down into pistols. They could have forced the buy, but they'll opt not to. Instead, the trio of frag grenades, which could all be cut down by Yell.
Pretty good.
Oh my God,
pretty good nades. Yeah, Zand is on his last limbs. This is all intended for logs. Try to time it with the Molotov.
If that third grenade had actually been thrown down Banana as well, then I think he's a corner.
Yell's dinked.
Oh my goodness, damage yet again.
And Yell's still here. That was his teammate in the back that got killed. 2 players quite low, but now the A site's opened up and the last 2 have been spotted. Oh, there it is. Another kill. And it gets somewhat expensive.
Right, as tragic as it would have been for INTZ to drop the ball on that one. I'm all for a back and forth when it comes to these ecos. You know, just unfortunate that it's not stacked up on the bomb site. Rather, they give them an exit plan.
It's pretty big. They get the 2 guns and they take the 2 guns away. So it's a lot of money lost for INTZ and a much cheaper buy for them next round. And just as you mentioned, I think they could have forced a buy if they wanted to.
Yep.
But decided to play it safe and save so that they have enough money left over and so that they could potentially op. I don't know. We'll see. But bomb plants in. Round is 1. Sweat wiped off the forehead. INTZ will reset. Move into a rifle round. And we'll get into the meat of the action.
This is actually really good that the 2 weapons are retrieved from Furia. You know, we already just talked about how they're just trying to keep that little bit of economic edge. Well, that's a double bonus. More money.
Didn't I say that?
Yeah, but I'm hammering it home.
Okay, bringing it home.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to be sure. Look at this. He switches right after. Happy.
Yeah. Sweating bullets. I miss someone.
F and chat. All right. Anyways, back into the rifle rounds. Yuri spotting from top mid. Was quite aggressive for a second. The nades have been good for Furia. That one doesn't actually land for anything. It might have slowed Ints down just to see what's going to happen. Art looks for his opening kill. Very small window of timing. Pixel shot if he hit that flick. And because of the smoke down at the half wall, will take the liberty of spamming just to see if he can get any free damage in. Rotate is out, even though they've lost banana control, so they're making a read, but it's clearly blind. There's not any indication from INTZ that they've picked a site yet. Cello is in the halls, and the bomb has slowly drifted its way back, but it's still early in the round. Anything could happen.
Silence from the counter-terrorists until that Molotov is flung forward. Yuri just going to eat chip damage. Nothing really worth noting here. So it's just waiting for INTZ to make their move. And sure enough, they are walking into the 2-man setup of Furia towards pit. However, they've evacuated arch side. This was, at one point, 4 players nearby. It is very much just going to fall on Abel and Yuri. Yuri off angle behind the haystacks. Abel comes back from the balcony, just blown apart by Destiny, and sure enough, the double headshots are good. But Vinny, clutch kills to at least keep this equal.
Yeah, rotates are a little bit late, and it's because they didn't have that info. So the site hold was decent, 3 for 3. That set Art and K-Serrato up quite well. But still, post-plant, you got to give it to the T's. Yep. And there's not a Molotov to flush him out of these spots. Art also tagged now.
Has still managed to get himself out of the library, though, so he's going to flash over. This will be simultaneous with K-Serrato's peak. You'd think he waits a second, will catch Yell. It all does fall on the Opera. KNG dancing around the pillar, dies. And there should definitely be time for the defuse. Excellent retake there between the 2 remaining Furia members, waiting just a moment after the flash.
Holy smokes, that came down to the last second. It was actually a 10-second defuse, yeah. I thought they definitely had it, but...
no, I'm just really confident in my call.
Just barely had it.
I assumed there was a kit, to be honest.
Honestly, if his teammate dancing around the bomb site, I would have told him to just get out of there just in case. Can never be absolutely certain. Even with the music, if it's a direct 10-second defuse, the music can start, you can still almost miss it.
Yeah.
So there's some trust involved, I think.
I trusted them to get it, Launders. They didn't disappoint. They've gone into the double op setup here. K-Serrato and Art.
Oh, I thought that nade was going to do a whole lot more.
Yeah, that one too should have.
Oh, I guess justice is served.
Extra body armor this round. Flak jackets.
Rook dropped him?
Yeah.
I'm learning. Halls control taken again by Cello. What does a cello sound like?
I have no clue.
Okay.
I'm good for sound effects, but can't help you there. I know what an op sounds like when it hits the heart of KNG. Blocked off is K-Serrato. Nobody else actually here for the B-site defense either. Bomb is coming. And he's got a gap to play with. He's not going to rob them of another frag, is he? No. Misses the follow-up bullet. He's going to call for the rotate because that confirms there's at least a T inbound. Coffin smoke prevents any additional peek if he wanted to take that risk, but a risk it would be.
Oh, that's a... Oh my goodness. Okay.
He gets it up. Not going to be a problem. Had to stretch his arms for it.
And Furia pretty much saving. They going for this? Did they not know this was happening? Yeah, I guess wow, they're going for this. They're so late. they're chasing a school bus right now, and it's going to pick some up. It's going to pick some other kids up. They have they have 2 smokes. They don't have a Molotov, but they still have 2 smokes.
I mean, they're gonna try as they will. Cello, easy. All too easy. 2 headshots of his own. Yell actually chimes in with 1 in the mix. And Caesarado, who has been here since the start, is the final fall of Furia. I was gonna call him a fiend. Final fiend.
Final fiend, yeah, but then
I was like, that's kind of rude.
There could be a negative connotation to that. Exactly. We don't know. We're kind of attacking him personally at that point.
So I just stopped myself.
All right.
I'll take the stutter.
Also, it would be presumptuous. Yeah.
Exactly. But this one, imagine if that was all 3 of the headshots. That would have been a clip and a half. Cue it to the highlight reel. It's still a beautiful hold in the end. Opper just distracted by the scope in range. And so we have Furia left in the economic dumps. Little tidbits of utility. 2 primary guns.
Strong hit on the B sites. Very strong, very simple. They work their way in. It was just kind of interesting to see Furia just take so long to get over to the site.
Right. I mean, super delayed even on the movement from pit.
Yeah, they just didn't want to get jebaited, but they also saw 3 people there, and it was so late on time. I think maybe because they didn't have confirmation on the players who were there sitting behind angles that they hadn't left, that they got nervous. But I just feel like at that point, should you even try the retake? Kind of major bad, right? 3 CTs spread out. Caesarado alone is usually not a terrible thing. But Yuri going down on the A site means attention is tracked over to A.
Ooh, Vinny's gonna swap out to the Deagle. Caesarado has at least gotten closer. He's standing out in the open, in fact, so yeah, Cello's gonna be found out. All the while, they have actually surpassed Vinny, so he has an element of surprise. If he had a full bar of health, you'd think he's got an even duel. But KNG seems to know. And there you go.
Around the falls, they lose a 1 player at A that could have made a difference. And obviously, if they go to B, I mean, you just got to think Caesarado's going to at least get 2. So they avoid that threat as well. And INTZ pull out another post-plant win. This time it is versus kind of a force-up, so they didn't have great guns. That Furia did not have great guns. And so the round does come with an asterisk, but because they win the round, that's all that's really important to them. And now they know that Furia are going to be saving. Caesarado will take the AUG into the next round, try to have some impact with it. But in general, INTZ have impressed on a few of these rounds. They just seem like they're a good matchup for each other. Some of these rounds have gone well for Furia, and the same for INTZ.
Individually speaking as well, we actually have INTZ now working in unison. First map, we had an absent KNG, even though they won. Second map was all KNG. You know, now we're getting into the mix. When it all matters most, everyone's come to the show. Gonna have to swallow their pride and probably die here with just their pistols. AUG immediately for Caesarado, not wasting any time, gets into the gunfight. It'll be retrieved by Vinny, but not as though any of these other counter-terrorists have Kevlar to go with it. Next step, find a bomb site, take an opening, and don't lose bomb at the bottom of Banana, because Art was trying to trudge forward there.
Oh, the USP was 1 bullet away from being able to take Yell out, and the second line of defense in a P2K does do the job. And the AUG has also traded hands for maximum value, but Vinny is not feeling confident about this one and will go ahead and save it. It's probably worthwhile. Did pretty good, decent work this round. I mean, not amazing. It was cool how they supported his peak with a smoke. So that, you know, it was the kind of device smoke off the angled wall so that it would bounce far enough into the corner. It would leave a little bit of a gap. I credit the device. I have no idea who actually came up with it. It's just, you know, you see him using it a lot. And that's pretty much how that goes, right?
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, it's confirmation bias, you know? That's what they call that.
I don't think that's confirmation. Is that confirmation? Yeah, you might be, I guess that might be right.
You see device doing it, so you allocate it to him.
Fair enough.
Maybe I'm wrong, but if I'm confident enough, you'll have to believe me. That's how it all works, Launders.
It's true.
So we have
Say it with your chest.
The terrorist side with a single round advantage. They lost the pistol, converted for 3. Furia off to a good start, but this offense starting to tear through their Brazilian brethren. Good time to take a pause here from Furia, their first of the third map. They're going to talk things over as they come in with a buy. And what does it include? Well, at least an AUG and a couple M4s. Calculations still being made. High fives around.
Let's see if they try to re-aggress on Banana after taking control of it. Some of the eco kills will be good for, well, I mean, they haven't gotten that many, but some of them will factor into a busted economy for INTZ. They still got pretty good money on most players, so that might not be true this round, but in the grand scheme of things. Initial Molotov goes out from both sides, actually. Mid smoked early, as it normally has been. INTZ will have Cello seek out apartments control, and there's not ever been a CT here, so he's going to go ahead and skip some angles, just get ahead with it, and move into kind of a lurk position. I don't know if they're going to move right into an execute, but it feels like they're posturing up for it. For the CTs, you know, having some resistance in the halls could have slowed this down, but they haven't done that so far. We don't have any HEs to come over towards mid to do damage like they did last time. But Furia just so passive, and they don't even have an op. Whereas INTZ just under a minute, they've got a number 8 man on Banana and Yell.
It's not the first time either that these Ts kind of pump the brakes at this exact position. You know, they've never really been contested inside of apartments outside of an anti-eco at the very start of the half. They tend to wrap around Arch with numbers, at least contesting that side to, you know, draw attention away from where they're really going to hit here on lane. Abel J, well, he smokes himself off prior to the Molotovs hitting their mark. He'll use the bicycle's handlebars to look over top, but the blinding flashbang does its job. Yuri gonna regain vision, sees the bomb drop down into the dirt, and Abel's here for 1 frag, but it is the pinch and wrap around on Arch side. Yuri, he knows that he's doomed, and in the last 8 seconds, they managed to get that bomb plant. Wait.
Oh my goodness.
They might not have it, Launders.
I think they do. Oh, yeah, they're good.
Just in the nick of time, they line up. Vinny's gonna try to spray. It's a gunfight to the death, and it's the CTs to survive. God damn, we're really running it down to the wire.
I know, that was close. Holy smokes. And they had so much time to go ahead with the execute. But they pumped the brakes, as you said, held it at top mid, and there was no push to come their way. They eventually pulled the trigger and got across lane into the site, but maybe if they had a couple extra moments, they wouldn't have had to just plant the bomb. They could have fought another rounder. And INTZ aren't as big of a culprit in this as a lot of other teams, but on a few of these occasions, they're just taking time for almost no reason. Yeah. And it's brought it down, brought the clock down so close that you think, well, did they need to? Did they need to?
Well, it's not just the clock that's starting to go down. It is also the backed up economy. INTZ, mostly everything they have invested in this, and the same could be said for Furia. So remember the outcome of round 11, because as we are tied up at 5 apiece, this one could shift momentum.
Passive setup once again from Furia. And I guess maybe for them, they see that as long as they don't push versus INTZ, they'll have like an easy time, or they're happy about retaking. Super risky at times to do this. Just damning the amount of time it takes to rotate. Control Molotov to clear out mid. Make sure you can't get opt peeking boiler. But the counter incendiary is good. Does about 50 HP to Destiny. 2 players staged up in halls. It's 46 seconds. They need to go back and get the bomb. I have no idea what their plan is, like what site they want to go to. They have options here. They just don't have the bomb.
Funnily enough, you've got both cohorts of Ts falling back a bit. You know, KNG comes into middle. The B players who are at the top of Banana actually go and get the bomb themselves. These guys redirect on A through Arch.
They can't split in time for this.
Oh, they can if they get these immediate kills on Banana, but it's not really going to have much trade potential, and they may walk right past. Here comes Vinny, dropping the bomb out into the open, a third frag on the SG. And while Cello does take 2, there's 8 seconds. He needs to get bomb and go. He fumbled it for a second, and there's still just enough time. Straight plan out into the open, and the CT cover from Destiny, the 3rd round now in this half that comes down to the final second. But the counter-terrorists up from Banana already, immediately finding a headshot just like they did in the previous round. The time may be there for INTZ, but the follow-up is Furia's. Frag grenade damages Cello. He is doomed, you'd think. And sure enough, he falls to Abel. That's a 6th for Furia.
You don't like to see that with the amount of time left over. I think maybe they forgot they had the bomb, because it looked like, okay, if they're going to go for a B-split, then if they had the bottom Banana, they don't have to go back and simply go back to Banana with the bomb. They could have just stayed there and then executed the split. And there was probably 10 to 15 seconds lost going back to grab it. So it could have been just a gap in awareness as to like who was supposed to have the bomb. But it doesn't seem like they just defaulted too long. Either way, they come close to winning somehow. Last second plant. And the 2v2, but I don't know. Furia were probably thinking, wow, they can't even get the bomb down in this situation. We have this made. 2 up there, and INTZ have enough money still to buy, I guess, would have been dire economic straits on round 11, as you brought up, if they didn't get the bomb plant.
Right.
But still could potentially think about it now. They just won't be able to opt.
It's crazy to me that you wait until the final 15 seconds and you don't even clear sandbags.
Well, that's the other thing. When you're so low on time, you always skip angles because you get so nervous and worried about the objective of the game to get the bomb down that you're like, all right, well, I hope they're not here because we don't even have time to clear everything.
My heart can't take it, Mohan. Boy. Good bounce on the frag, hits the mark. Zand will be softened up before he even sees a CT. There's one terrorist without a weapon, and that's Destiny. Nobody on the terrace has an op to counter Arts. He's going to play that on Arch.
Not many ops coming into play in this match entirely. Art being able to have this op, though, makes it less important that they push things. Another round where they're not inside of halls, where they are not retaining bracket control. And Art, I think he came back to maybe smoke top Banana. I'm not sure. Yeah, it seems like it. So moved into position, and it looks like INTZ are going to go ahead with the round that they tried last round, except a little bit sooner.
Yeah, also a bit more utility on the execution too. They do lose Art, or rather Arch. Their push cut down by 1. Destiny, as I said, just that CZ player, so of anybody to be behind enemy lines, it's not really him you want.
It's a battle at mid. Who's going to hear footsteps first is the question, and it's not Yuri.
And then Abel as well came downwards. So the saving grace in this instance is that we don't have Art dying to that other player who had gotten to CT spawn, because if that was the case, then Furia would have been completely left at B, because Serato gets into position, 7 seconds left. Again, we're going to be coming down to the wire, and oh my, he's going to get rushed, but low health on KS Serato. Yell, he's got the Glock out. It's a team flash. 8 HP on Vinny, up from lane already, and still he gets the headshot.
I don't want to watch this. What the heck is going on? That's another round. Just 4 players running head first to each other at the bottom of mid. And it's for Furia, it's because they think like, no way they come back to A, 18 seconds remaining. Technically, they had enough time. Somehow, Art misses a shot. He's waiting for them. They're running. They don't have time to even shoulder peek him, and he misses a shot. And then the team flash. Oh, my God. I don't even know how that's possible. He turned around, which is the great part. So if he hadn't turned around, it would have just been a flash. That would have been fine. He basically didn't have to tell him.
This is a roller coaster. A roller coaster of emotions. And I'm not sure if I want to be on it or get off. But
well, you don't have a choice because we're paid to be here. But
we're here for the wild ride. This is crazy. This is crazy. 3 rounds in a row comes down to like either a last second on a defuse, last second on a bomb plant.
They actually, and they started the round off quite quickly. It was 45 seconds left, and then they went ahead with the B split, and then Art got his kill on Arch. And then the 3 players stood behind a smoke at B and spammed through it. But as soon as Queserado just stayed there, didn't spam back, they were like, screw this. Like, we didn't get our smoke kill that we planned for. Let's go back. Oh, man. What a circus.
At a certain point, I just have to respect it. I mean, whoever's making that final call to say, yeah, good idea. It's coming down to the wire way too often.
Only sees is on the board. They've got armor. Ooh.
Art does get away.
Yeah, he's got him cut off too. I mean, just getting the kill confirmation allows the B players to activate themselves, and Vinny's been so good with this hog.
Yep. And obviously with no pressure up Banana, his job's made all the easier. Yell's magazine goes dry. Some extra bullets there from Yuri. And we have ourselves a 3-round lead to the advantage of Furia.
Yeah, it's disappointing that the way that these last 3 rounds have gone has just been look kind of random, like to the point that if you played them over again, you know, INTZ could have just pulled them out. Because it was 5-5 at one point, and it really seemed close, and they seemed like a really strong matchup for each other. But Furia looking, I guess, a bit more prepared, a little bit more composed. The thing is that INTZ have been given up a lot. Like, they've been given a lot of map control, all of Banana, all of Apartments every single round, and then Banana very easily. And top bracket has just been, you know, arc peaking it for a second and then falling back. So that them not being able to make the most of that is probably a little bit worrying.
Oy.
Oh, I guess, yeah, maybe that's why they don't play halls. Destiny comes through, takes the opper out. I don't know if he had an op that round.
Yuri seems to want to walk forward, but Yell not going to expect another player.
Oof.
Down goes Yuri again. Stay out of the apartments. That belongs to INTZ. Able, though, almost capable of catching that, and yet he does die.
Oh, wow. He was so close to... Oh, no, that's the bomb outside B. They don't know where Queserado is. They'd like to get confirmation first. They're going to take their time here. Bomb is actually headed back towards him. Hasn't seemed to have made a decision. Cello does spot the CT finally, and that's Queserado who's going to try to retake a bomb site that doesn't have a bomb in it. So, I mean, does he go for it, or does he just sit in pit? They've got to play for next round. There's not a lot of money to buy, so probably he just wants to try to live if possible. But they've also got a lot of good information on where he just was, and the shoulder of Cello pops out. But before Queserado can react, and we know he's lightning fast, Cello kills him with a clean headshot and moves us swiftly into round 15, the last round of the last half of the match and the day. And the winner of this will go on to play NRG, and I think either of them would be an interesting test for NRG, who again seem a little bit nervous, potentially, about playing a Brazilian team as opposed to the American teams that are here.
Right. Of which they've clearly dispatched of. And the loser goes down to meet Envy tomorrow for an elimination best of 3. Someone goes home tomorrow, and it could be the loser of this match. But as time goes on, we find ourselves in the 15th round of the first half. I have to say, this has at least been a lot of things, but incredibly entertaining. We're starting to kick it up a notch here on INTZ's T side of Inferno. Bomb's been back in spawn again. Not a big worry. There's plenty of time for the moment. But just the idea of it being left there does kind of make me nervous. Up the brackets they go. And down comes the grenade.
That's fine. I mean, this is kind of what Furia have always done. This time they've even got less to work with, and they still give up just as much. No aggressive plays at all. Not a lot of nades to work with to do it, to be fair. But all the more reason INTZ should have an advantage this round. However, a flash. One of the 2 flashes they have, they use to retake top banana. It nets them a frag, and then pushes Furia back into the driver's seat. They've also got Hall's control for the second time this half. Last time it didn't go so hot, but here Abel gets a bit of information. Oh, Yuri is not going to expect that. He seemed kind of prepared, but I think with all the information that he just got, he thought it was going to be a B play for sure.
On, we're down to the last 10 seconds again, and there's 3 CTs stacked up on the B site. They're gonna hold this for sure, if not to the end of the round, at least until the bomb can't come through. Destiny, he's gonna survive the 15th round, but to no avail. It is 6 rounds to the T side of INTZ, and we will be back for the second half of this third map, folks. See you soon. Welcome back, dear friends. We are here with Furia Esports on a 3-round lead and a heavy utility as they start off the T side of Inferno. I am Scrawny, this is Launders, and we don't really know what happened in that first half. We had some wild rounds and some unpredictable plays from INTZ. Let's see if Furia have a little bit more of a calculated approach. Ooh.
Wow. Okay, that is 10 levels deep.
Yeah, I can't help but feel like that was a read.
Yeah, I guess they heard him run down mid, and then that's it. He just was like, all right, I'll just hold this. But yeah, that's also pretty unpredictable at that point after no one's been spotted. What is that from Yuri? Oh my God. He was just like slap, slap. Yeah. That was a pretty nasty 2K by the Glock. Really,
he's happy about that one.
Really sick stuff. Furia get their 10th round. 4 rounds the better of INTZ, who had a very strange end to the half. I think 4 of the last 5 rounds took nearly the entire round to plant the bomb. And didn't win those rounds either.
Yeah, I take back what I said. I said maybe Furia will be calculated, but if you think about it, INTZ were more calculated, calculating it to the final second of 4 of those rounds at least. Whether that was by choice,
yeah, I don't know,
or by a series of events,
I'm not sure.
But regardless,
at least they swap halves now. Maybe INTZ will have an easier time, like looking calculated.
Right. Let's see. Let us see.
Now, you know we like to compare and contrast.
Yeah.
Furia are a team that know how to take map control, and they know how to use kind of every phase of the round and and use it to its limits. Let's see what they do, because it feels like sometimes Furia, I mean, INTZ just sit around. Let's see if Furia look a little bit more well developed on their T side here. It hasn't been Inferno when we've seen them play the best, but they had some cool stuff on CT side, so I'm looking forward to them trying. It is an anti-force by INTZ have lost 3 players. Bomb goes down, resmoke on Moto, and the 2 CTs are going to save the save. Did I say CTs or CZs? The 2 CTs are going to save their CZs.
That seemed to me like the kind of anti-eco that you can't win as a counter-terrorist unless you're just stacked up in the bomb site, because the smoke grenades were so good at blocking off vision. Like, look at these rotators. They're met by smoke and a follow-up on Moto. Even within the bomb site, that's where there's the only chance at duels, and you had 4 terrorists running at you. So just so far, so good. Efficient trade train from Furia on the A site hit.
Simple stuff. I don't know if any SMGs were bought, but I think it was all AK kills in this round. Bomb plant to prop their economy up just a little bit. Moving in this next round, another farm spree. Vinny, Abel, grab yourself some Mac 10s and have at it.
Smack 10s.
There's Vinny gets his. Abel, come on. You're not a sheep for doing this. There we go. He gets the Mac 10. Perfect. Now you guys lead the way. Pick your site of your choice. And get in that butt.
Get up in there. Quick as can be. The moment.
There it is. They pick B. Correct choice. This door has 1 CT behind it, though the smoke comes down on them, but Abel is there leading the charge on the other side.
Yeah, he's going to take a lot of attention away from the apartments. You know, he welcomes them inwards.
Yeah, nicely timed peek there. Not take any damage. Cello will eventually trade him, and oh wow, that Mac 10 has been turned on Furia, but it's still 3 up.
Yeah, Zand actually brought that from the previous round, I think.
Oh, okay.
And he found one of his own.
There you go. That's a lot of money to be made. Didn't have to pay for the Mac 10 either.
Bonus cash, but a round to the favor of Furia. They will be up now by 6. At the very, very start. We haven't seen them with weapons as of yet. We ask ourselves, who will step up for the counter-terrorist side?
Very likely that this becomes a rematch. You know, if NRG beat them tomorrow and Envy lose to INTZ, I don't know if they will. It just feels like a very unknown quantity.
Right. I feel like no matter who wins this game, I feel, as unfortunately for them, they will lose to NRG. Like, to be fair, NRG is the deepest in all of the minors without losing a map. You know, nobody's gotten to this point without losing a map before.
Yeah. And the only question we had for them was, you know, are they gonna choke this time like they did last time? I think it was fair to say. I think Dap said it himself that, you know, you don't want to throw that word around, but I think they said they, you know, choked it, which is fair. But they are supposed to be leaps and bounds above every other team here in terms of their ranking and everything. Probably shouldn't have been at this minor, right? So
yeah, you could argue.
Yeah. Cello throws his Molotov incendiary down mid, but Furia circumvent it. Run up mid, and KNG hits his shot. Oh, and also finishes off his first target.
Yeah, takes 2 strikes, but he'll get him. Now Cello finds the headshot versus Vinny as well. Destiny emerging from the pit, has support on Moto if needed, and yes, he will have to have a little help, but the help is there, and it's sufficient, it's efficient, and it's all successful. 7 rounds for INTZ.
Those are really tough trades to get for INTZ. You know a team can get run over when you see a strat like that, and it looked like the entries were fierce. I mean, they came quick. There was like almost first bullet headshots, but that was a good pit play. There was, you know, KNG did his part. He hit 2 really nasty shots. I think it would have worked even better if he just, you know, tagged up 2 or hit 1 and then finished another one, but his teammates have rotated in time to be able to pick up the pieces.
That's what we really needed to see out of these CTs. First gun round, convincing round win.
Yeah. See, if Furia want to do this again, they've got to go quickly. Yeah, look at this. INTZ have made it all the way to the bottom of Banana. I don't know if they have a smoke there to disallow them from seeing anything further. But yeah, Furia are moving quick around Arch.
Yep, they will have a challenge from Zand in Library. He doesn't hit his target. He is struggling at the moment. Now KNG falls next, line up for Destiny, but he only gets himself one. Cello will section off the bomb carrier, but the smoke does plume. That's going to deny his vision. Keep the man advantage up for Furia as they plant the bomb into the backside of the site. They keep a player in pit as an insurance policy.
It's a save.
And then the utility gets going. You'd think it's a save.
It should be a save. If they want to go through the smoke, I mean, it's a full 15 seconds off the clock if they want to wait for it. And then at that point, they got to get 3 kills. One of those players in pit. He's not going to give up a fight easily. He has vision. They're throwing it. Oh my goodness, they're going through.
Yeah, right away. They had a player blind at the back of the bomb site. Abel now regains his vision, and INTZ don't gain much at all. On that retake attempt, they lose everything they could have and gain nothing in return.
Dude, Furia might do this. After these last 2 maps, it felt very impossible to predict based on what we saw, how good Furia are going to be, but they are back into this 100%. 13 rounds to 7. And INTZ have bought. If they were going to buy this round, I think that's even more reason for them to save in that very unlikely retake situation that we just witnessed. They could have had 2 guns.
Ooh. Fare thee well, Yell. Tries to peek down Banana, gets a lot more than he'd hoped for. Furia gonna try to pick up the pace towards the B site. Don't blame them. You know, they should be able to just work through these pistol players, and I use the word players, but it's really not plural. It is only Zand at B site. His comrades dying elsewhere, and he finds himself empty-handed. This is Furia with 14. They're going to keep up that trend of doubling the score of their opponents.
Gotta love how fast they're moving, too.
Yeah.
Not something I predicted they would do.
I mean, contrast that to what we saw in the first half.
Uh-huh.
Convincing, committed, and I would say
decisive.
Well, I would say like thought through. You know, again, it just seems like everybody's on the same page. Whereas at times with INTZ's executions, you know, you'd see kind of this like disconnection between 1 or 2 players. Somebody would be trailing a few seconds. We didn't know where the bomb was off to. That's not the case with Furia. And that always does seem to lend itself to the point that the desk made prior to coming in this, where it's like, if we're going to get into these heated moments, then the team who comes out on top should be that of which has played together longer, is more of a unit and gelled. And that's unarguably Furia.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, good point. But either way, they, you know, was hoping to actually see them draw the rounds out just so we could see what they, you know, so we could see the difference between them and how INTZ waited around but didn't get a lot done.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to see fast rounds. It felt like some of those rounds in the first half just dragged on way too long. So, all right, there. It's going to be another force. It's going to be force ups till the bitter end for INTZ, and Furia will be happy to see that last round they killed players with head armor. I'm sure they'll be like, what? We did that? Have they given up already? That's a question I would ask myself if I was on the T side. But they can go ahead and play this slowly. It looks like they'll be offered up some pushes, but...
Oh. Art's going to follow up on that. Catches Destiny. I believe that was the gun as well that Abel had dropped. Pretty sure it belonged to him, because KNG only has that MP9. So they lost the fruits of their labor, but it'll still be a labored attempt from the T side. They're trying to hit their head into the B site. They do have time to double back. It was a nice flash and peek through smoke from Zand. However...
the one site player is down.
Exactly. And the next 2, well, they're close, but the smoke gets refurbished. They throw one on Humpty Dumpty. Cello. He's going to get caught, at least with some... No, not damage, excuse me. It was all versus his teammate. We have ourselves a 2v2. We've got KNG wrapping back around through Banana, frag grenade, and a flash on him, plus the element of surprise.
Yeah, not absolutely ideal spots.
No, Vinny seems very focused on the back of construction, but look at the way the frag calls his attention back. The trajectory there from Yuri's vision tells him exactly what he needs to know so that he can go and clutch a 15th round. That is it. 8-map match. and important points ahead.
And the day point?
Yeah.
Day point?
I was going to say minor, but no.
No, not quite yet.
Comes tomorrow.
Yeah, there have been a lot of elimination games that we've seen. A lot of heartbreaking, heart-wrenching losses. But at least today, these teams will get another chance.
Everybody gets the chance to lose one best of 3. It's not ideal if you lose that in the first day of the playoffs, but it's better than going home with no second chances.
No doubt about it.
And nobody's going down to that bracket just yet, okay? We've got a buyback in from INTZ.
Yeah.
It lacks utility, certainly. Hell, it even lacks the 5.56 of the M4s. But there's something there. Damage done. Art and Vinny, 40 health combined. And while the bracket's control is in question by Furia's initial showing, they know there's a man inside of the smoke. Little audio cue.
Unlucky to get hit by that bounce off the grenade. Yell finally finishing off one of the targets he hit. Went ahead and nailed 2 with the scout. Just a few seconds ago, and Yell now creeping up for another fight. It's not going to be, is it going to be a headshot?
Oh, no. More damage though.
Yeah, it's more damage. You can't blame him for going for that.
So, look at all of this damage. It was a combination actually between KNG and Yell to tag up all these players. That scout having a second life in the hands of Yell. Doesn't get those kills though, tragically. However, the utility level for Furia in this after plant in a 4v1, you absolutely think is enough, and it is. Spam through from KS Serrato, and jubilation on the side of Furia, understandably so. It's almost like beating up your big brother at the end of the day. KNG and co over there towards INTZ will have a chance again tomorrow. These guys' job's not done, but now they have at least 2 chances to move forward into at what is the, of course, IEM Katowice 2019 main event. Mohan, it was fun to watch this Brazilian bash. It was fun to see NRG really kind of leave that gap between them and the rest of the teams at this minor. That's the action we had today here from North America, but we've got games again tomorrow.
Yeah. I wish I saw more of that emotion during the game, even though it's probably good that they weren't, screaming every round. Yeah. Just because it's just like nice to see how it's just a reminder of how important these matches can be, especially at the minor with the stakes so high. This could be make or break for these teams. So yeah. That's a big win for them. Congratulations, Furia.
Congrats to them, and congrats to the teams, of course, that still have that second chance. I don't want to see anybody go home just yet. My heart can wait another day, but barely after some of those rounds. Let's see if the analysts on the desk can make sense of what we just saw.